Hello, guys. Sorry, I haven't recorded in a while, so I messed up my intro. Hello, friends, Romans, and also countrymen. And welcome to the first recording on my new computer, on my PC. And today we're playing Greed Corp. This is going to be exciting because I'm excited because new computer can record high-quality content. I'm excited. I apologize, there's no face cam. I do not have a webcam yet, but this game is pretty enough that it won't really matter. It doesn't need to be subsidized by my pretty face. Anywho, let's jump right into Greed Corp. So, let's start on the campaign. No, because I know how to play. Alright, I'm not going to read that, because though there is a story to this game, it is not the most interesting. So essentially this is a turn-based strategy game, as turn-based TBS would stand for. Essentially these are your enemies here, and over here are my guys. And the whole goal is to take over land and to essentially defeat the enemy. And this is a pretty simple map, and right now I have unlimited time as far as my turns. The turn times get shorter and shorter and shorter as you play through. But anyway, let's get right in. So, first of all, as you can see, very, very beautiful game. And it's got a great soundtrack, very cool, jazzy fun times. And it's pretty simple to play. So you can move your walkers in any of these spaces, and it's really easy. You just click on the walker, and you see it'll show you what places you can move them to. You can only move them one space, but let me just do a little example of something here. I'm going to move my guy there. The sound effects are kind of loud. Hold on. Yeah, those sound effects are way high. Let's do 30. Alright. That should be better. So, now, I can move this guy to over here, even though it's not one space away, because it's moving over land that I already control. So, let me just move here. And I don't have enough money to build anything over here, though I can build a barracks, and I think I'm going to build that here. And the goal essentially is just to take over as much land as I can. And I will show, in the second turn, I will show harvesters, because that's an interesting concept. They're taking their turn. Now the AI in this game is pretty good. Not the best. They have already put down some harvesters. I decided not to do that yet, which probably will put me at a disadvantage, but this level is pretty easy, so it should be alright. So, build a harvester. What a harvester does is harvests the land and gives you money per turn. Now, I'll place a harvester here. Every time, it will lower a square. Every time it harvests out some of the world. It'll lower not these squares, but hexes. And when a hex gets cracked, that means that if it gets lowered one more time, it will disappear. It'll fall apart and disappear, which will actually change the landscape, which is very interesting because that means that the games dynamically change. The landscapes change as you play. Now I'm going to move some of my walkers here so I can take over more land. And I'm actually going to build another harvester. Now, these all are going to be safe. Everything on these, because they are higher than the harvesters. If you place the harvesters higher, these hexes will get cracked faster, and then they will fall apart, and you will be kind of screwed. Now, the AI tends to do this, place harvesters on higher squares, at least in the beginning, because it makes them kind of stupid, and so they're easier to beat. because they kind of destroy their own stuff. But just as a word of warning, make sure you put your harvesters, if you can, lower than everything else so that only the harvesters get destroyed after a certain period of time. Now you see, that lowered the land there, and they had 22, and now they've placed 2 more harvesters. You can see their money is going down. Right now I have no money because I've spent it all on harvesters, but I should get 34 there, because you get money for every chunk of land that you control. You can also, I'm gonna move my guys here, this button here, you can actually use harvesters kind of as a weapon, because you can place them next to your enemy's stuff, and then you can destroy them, and it'll destroy all of the blocks around them. Thus, you can kind of use them as planted bombs. Now, I gotta kind of build more harvesters here, because my opponent has lots of harvesters, 6 harvesters, which means they're gonna get, their economy is gonna be way ahead of mine. But I gotta control some more land before I take any more harvesters. Alright. I think I'm actually going to build a couple more walkers. Let's do 2. And build a cannon right here. Hey guys, sorry for the cut. I just had to go get up and do something, but as you can see, there is a day-night cycle, so it was a good example. Anywho, I've moved all my walkers. I can build more harvesters, which I think I'm going to do. Now, this harvester already covers all of that land. This harvester already covers all of that land, so I'm not getting anything over here. So I'm going to actually put a harvester here. And I think that's going to be my turn. Let's see what they do. Now, they have maximized their economy, but they have made a kind of stupid mistake. Now, you see I got much more money than they did. The reason for that is they have placed all their harvesters very, very close together, which means that they're not actually stacking the amount of space they're harvesting. Now, like here would have been an ideal place for them to put in a harvester, but the AI, again, is kind of dumb, at least in the beginning. They definitely do get more crafty as time goes on. Now, I'm actually going to lose that walker, but I will control the land and I will get more economy from it. And I'm actually going to build 4... Oh, I only have enough to do 2. Build 2 bullets in here so I can start firing on the enemy, because I've pretty much taken up as much land as I can. Let's see what they do. See, I knew I was going to lose that walker, but at least I controlled the land for a little while. And now, they forced me to use a cannon, because they, because I really have, nothing else. Now, I'm going to build this here. I'm going to move these walkers to over here. And I'm going to actually, I think I'm going to fire on the enemy, but I'm also going to build some harvesters, because all of this land back here is pretty much useless. So, I'm going to build a harvester there. Oops. And build a harvester, well, that's reaching there. So I'm going to build a harvester there. And then, I'm actually going to fire upon the enemy. Let's fire on... Let's fire on one of their... Yeah, let's fire on this harvester. because that'll destroy their economy. Because that blows up the harvester, blowing up their other two harvesters. So I've really minimized their amount of land that they have. And I think that's going to be my turn. And as you can tell, this soundtrack is incredibly good. It's, I'm not going to say unusually good, but it's definitely different for what it is. Because usually in indie soundtracks, they're a little different than this. But I quite enjoy what they've done with the soundtrack. So let's do three bullets there, which are under construction, and then that's pretty much all I can do because that takes up my economy. So let's have them take their turn. So they're firing on us, which sadly destroys all those walkers, but I can build more walkers. I'm gonna build, I don't know why I clicked so many times. Another thing, simple way to add walkers. You just tap a number and click. Very, very nice. So I'm gonna build some harvesters because I do want to get more land, or more economy faster, and then I'm going to fire upon their cannon. Because I should be able to take out their cannon without much of an issue in a couple of turns, thus immobilizing. Well, not immobilizing, but taking them out. And I think I actually might build 2 more. Alright, let's see where they go from here. Granted, they do have a pretty good economy. Well, leftovers at least. So, this here is an issue, because these are cracked, which means that I gotta move my walkers to here, and I am going to fire on them. And see, this is one of those games where if you make a kind of stupid mistake, it really is possible to lose, which I'm actually in a position where I might, even though this is the first level, and it's really just a matter of you have to be smart about what you do, and I am not a strategy game guy, as you can tell. But yeah, we have done some damage. I'm going to produce 2 more bullets, and that's going to be my turn, and I hope they don't destroy me on this turn. But it looks like they're only going to fire. So they fired on that square, destroying this guy. Alright, so I am down to 1 square, which is not the best situation in the world. Now, for the sake of just boosting what I can out of my economy, actually, let's produce more bullets, but they may actually destroy us pretty soon, which is kind of a shame, honestly, because we're not doing so hot, but oh well. This is a demonstration of the game. See, now we are actually pretty safe, because this should be the final blow, destroying their cannon, and with 1 walker, yeah, they're not going to have much economy. Now, they are going to build cannon, but they have to take a turn to actually build ammunition, as you can see with our setup. So we actually should be pretty safe as far as firing upon their cannon. Sadly, we do not have another bullet, but we may be able to make it. So they're just maximizing the number of guys they have, but yet they still cannot fire on us. So we should be safe for now. I'm gonna fast forward through their turn because they're just making tons of walkers, which actually is something I should do. How many can we do? Let's do 6 just to be safe. And let's build some more ammunition and destroy their walkers. Alright, so their deal is done, and I can fire upon their last square. This is, or hex. I'm sorry, hex. I keep not saying that correctly. But this is how the game kind of goes. You just destroy the landscape. Hence the name Greed Corp. It's just all about greed. So that was all they did, which means, you know, actually I'm tempted. We can use one of these. So we now have a plane. Now we can, actually I want to not do that. What am I doing here? So I have one of them. How do I use them? See, this is a bit I've always been confused about, is how I move my walkers with the little plane guys. Now, that's a little fault of the game, is they don't really make it clear, but we still can fire upon their square. And this indicates that we have one, but I think it may take the next turn for us to use it, I believe. Yes, I believe that it is true. I'm pretty new to this game. I've played only a couple games. Okay, so now mine is active. Okay, so this is one of the faults, I think, with this game, is that they don't make this part super clear, but it's a very minor fault. But I do find that it's a little unclear, but that's alright. So now, we will win the game, because, well, we should have. Oh, they had walkers, that's right. So, when you drop walkers on a square, or move walkers to a square where there are enemy walkers, your walker will destroy one of their walkers, so both walkers will get destroyed. Now, they're going to try to drop walkers on here, which will take over my land. Now, I'm going to make just a ton of walkers right now, because I don't want them to do that. And I'm also going to make ammunition, because that's important right now. But anywho, when you drop walkers on a space that doesn't have any other walkers on it, you will automatically capture, or move them onto a square, you'll automatically capture the buildings that are there. Now, they are bulking up their walkers, but they're still only going to have 7 for now. Now, I'm going to bulk up my walkers as well, because this is going to become a battle of the walkers, it looks like. Now, add more ammunition, and I'm going to fire on them, which I didn't really need to do any of that, but just as a precautionary measure. But this should... Boom. Done. So, that was the first level of Greed Corp. So, anyway, guys, this has been Greed Corp. I hope you enjoyed. This is available on Steam for, I can check actually really quick how much it costs. This is available on Steam for $10. So go check it out if you wish to play it. It's a good little indie game, quite a bit of fun, It does take some skill, actually. It's a challenging game if you really get into it. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed, and continue Greed Corp laping badoops. I don't know what I'm talking about. Not at all.